Yo, yo, yo. Hey, yo, what's good to all my heroes and villains out there? You know what it is. It's your boy LC. Guys, welcome to the episode of Heroes and Villains Collectibles. Alright, with that all down, guys, I got one more subject I wanted to bring to you guys. At least, hopefully, fingers crossed that this is some real news. You know, even though it's rumors, but we have Marvel's upcoming secret projects for Phase 7. You guys already know that Phase 7 is actually Phase 6, right? We're in Phase 5, or ending Phase 5. Phase 6 is like what? The Mutant Saga. And then we got some secret projects for Phase 7. So this is going to be Marvel's upcoming secret project for Phase 7. Shouts out to Warren over at the Cosmic Wonder. Let's go ahead and see what he has to say. Hopefully this can brighten up our day and give us some good, positive vibes, because this Super Bowl stuff is just BS. Alright, so let's go ahead and check this out. Here we go, guys.
Marvel Studios has some secret projects that they have yet to release or even have begun to work on yet, but they could be the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe next to the X-Men after Avengers Secret Wars. What's going on, Cosmic Crew? Thanks for stopping by the channel today. We have a list of a lot of what seem to be movies. They could be shows, but most of them seem to be movie titles, especially some new Avengers titles. And Marvel Studios, they locked in the copyrights for these in 2022, and it seems like most people have forgotten about them. But recently, the X account, King Spike, credit to them.
Yo, could that be, did you guys see back in the days, years back, the Runaways TV show with the teenagers? I wonder if that's what they're talking about right there. Has to be, right? Because when you look at the Runaways comic books, it was a team of the teenagers. And that would be dope. That would be dope. The ones from back in the days had the Runaways TV show, and it had the Cloak and Dagger TV show at one point. I used to watch all that, man. At one point, you had the Cloak and Dagger TV show and the Runaways. They did a cameo together, so they were even in the same episodes at one point. That was a badass. That was dope. Seeing the Runaways together with Cloak and Dagger, that was dope. So I wonder if this is what they're talking about. I would love to see the Runaways. I enjoyed it at the time.
Them posted a list of what they locked in 2022, and everybody is talking about it now, especially since the insider My Time to Shine Hello replied to the tweet stating, and they are all coming, with the eyes looking emoji. So I'm not sure what My Time to Shine Hello has heard, but I do know some of these are indeed going to be coming in the next phase, in the next saga of the MCU. Now, there's a whole list here, and all that has really come to fruition yet.
Also, you know they have to pay off that Thor Love and Thunder. Remember at the end when Zeus said to Hercules, you know what I mean? Because just like in the comic books, Hercules and Thor, they fight each other. But then they become friends and they're cool. You know what I mean? So we still got to see that Hercules versus Thor fight that was set up at the end of Thor Love and Thunder. Because that reminded me, now that I see a Hercules. You can't have a Hercules movie without us getting the Hercules versus Thor. You know what I mean? Let's end that part first. You know what I'm saying? Let's pay that off.
With these copyrights that they listed is two things, and really kind of just one, because one is the multiverse saga, right? So that's what we're in now. They have the copyright for that. That makes sense. But the only other one on this list that has come to fruition or is yet to even be announced is Avengers Secret Wars. The rest are either coming or perhaps Marvel won't make them. But again, according to My Time to Shine Hello, I would say a lot of them are coming. I wouldn't say all of them are coming, but this very well could be the future of Marvel Studios. And just so you're aware, this list does come from a massive batch of trademark filings found on the European Union Intellectual Property Office, and they appeared on the website July 22nd, 2022, which was just one day before Marvel Studios' Hall H presentation at San Diego Comic-Con, and at the time, major outlets like IGN, Variety, they all reported on these filings because they accurately did predict some of the announcements that happened the very next day, like the Multiverse Saga and Avengers Secret Wars. So these are very real, and this is very much what could be coming from Marvel Studios. And I do believe, I would say most of these are going to come. And the first three we'll talk about because they are in alphabetical order.
Legend of the Long Hauler, Dave traded up to Geico for trucking cargo coverage at rates that are real.
The Avengers. You've probably heard this one, or maybe you've seen a thumbnail or something about it, but Avengers Eternity Wars. It doesn't seem like in Avengers Doomsday or Avengers Secret Wars, we're gonna dive too much into the cosmic gods side of things. We did see Eternity in Thor Love and Thunder, but that was very brief, and although I thought Eternity looked pretty freaking cool, I would expect cosmic beings to show up in Doomsday, but we haven't really heard much about them. Maybe we'll get some cameos like we've seen the Living Tribunal and Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness as well, but they've yet to play a very important role like they do in the comics. But Eternity Wars kind of sounds like a movie where the Celestials and other cosmic gods would be in there. We've actually heard that the Celestials are going to return in some way, shape, or form. It might not specifically be an Eternals movie because, spoiler alert, they're not on here. There's no copyright for a second Eternals movie. We might get it, but from what we've heard, doesn't seem likely. So Eternity Wars, I'm super excited for that. The next one, Avengers Excursion. This kind of seems like it would be maybe like a big adventure film. I'd love to know your thoughts about what you think that could be. The next one is Avengers Secret Wars, which obviously we have, but then another one, Avengers Timeless. This one is quite interesting. Maybe they registered this to possibly have been a part of something with the Kang Dynasty, but it does seem like if they go through with Avengers Timeless, this could actually definitely involve time travel, but might actually involve the multiverse again. Just because the multiverse saga is about to end in Avengers Secret Wars, I don't think that means that we're never going to see the multiverse again. It's a big part of the comics. I think we're going to, lay low for a little while and focus on one universe, which we should because it's going to be a new universe, but eventually we'll jump back into the multiverse. So that does it for the Avengers ones. Let me know which one you were most excited for. I would say Eternity Wars. That sounds like the most exciting one to me. But we'll have to wait and see. This one to me, again, these have been registered. These are official. This one to me is kind of a crazy title. Captain America, Red, White, and Black. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I am actually really not sure if Anthony Mackie will be Captain America after Avengers Secret Wars. Kevin Feige already said his movie didn't do well because he wasn't Chris Evans. He wasn't Steve Rogers. And that is the Captain America that people knew and loved. And this has nothing to do with Anthony Mackie whatsoever. I actually really like Anthony Mackie, and I really like him as Captain America. But
guys, comment below, man. Let me know who's your Captain America. Look, Anthony Mackie is a good Falcon. Okay? He ain't no damn Captain America. I know he was Captain America in the comic books. You know what I mean? I got comic books also of Anthony Mackie as Captain America. But Steve Rogers is Captain America. I think, to be honest, I think Bucky does a better Captain America than freaking Sam Wilson. I think they should have passed the shield down to Bucky, to be honest, at the end of that Avengers Endgame. It makes sense. Like, you have a super soldier that now has the shield. Like, come on, this dude Falcon, he's just a human and he got no powers. Bucky is the same as Captain America. Super soldier. So that's where they kind of messed up at, yo. But Steve Rogers is my Captain America. If I gotta choose, then Bucky and then Falcon over here. But nah, man, Captain America is Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers is Captain America. Comment below, let me know what you guys think.
this movie didn't do so well, so maybe Marvel says, maybe we move on. Especially since Secret Wars is going to reset a decent amount of the MCU as we know it, and new stories are going to begin, and he already said they're going to recast Iron Man and Captain America, so I don't really think Anthony Mackie is Captain America after Secret Wars, but we'll have to wait and see. We do have this one, Celestial's End of Time. I really like this. This might have changed recently, though, because what we've heard from insiders like Alex Perez is that Marvel actually is now more likely going to consider going the Axe story route, which is the Avengers, the X-Men, the Eternals. This storyline involves the Celestials actually going to Earth to judge everybody and basically kill everybody if they deem it that way, if they deem them not worthy, if they judge them in a bad way. And that's exactly what the Eternals set up.
That's right, bro. At the end of the Eternals, Orisham, the judge, came and he's talking about that he's going to judge us. It's like, yo, what happened with these payoffs? We have all these setups, but no payoff. Like, come on, man. You're going to look in the sky and see a big-ass celestial in the sky and there's still no payoff to that? Come on, man.
Literally, Airsham said he's going to return for judgment. So Celestials End of Time, that was clearly a play off of the Eternals. It doesn't even necessarily have to be an Eternals 2, and it does make sense that kind of everybody would be involved, the Avengers and the X-Men, in such a giant event where a giant celestial space god is going to come and destroy the Earth. That kind of involves everybody. So we might not get Eternals 2, but Celestials End of Time or AXE, that.
We don't need a Eternals 2. You could actually do this Celestial movie and then have the Eternals in the movie. Because at the end, Orisham took half of the Eternals with him. You know, so we don't need no Eternals 2. Just do a freaking Celestial movie. Get Orisham. Let's see what the hell's going on. But you guys be setting up all this and still no payoff. And how long ago did that movie come out?
Could happen. I actually do think that is what is going to happen, whether it's titled Axe or Celestials End of Time. I do believe it's coming. Now they also, this one's really interesting.
At Capital Group, we design our active ETFs to weather the ups and downs of the market so they can be rooted at the
all these commercials. When I do the clip, I'm gonna go ahead and you won't see these. Guys, let me know if you guys seen the this show right here, Wonder Man. I just finished watching all the episodes yesterday. Let me know your thoughts.
Eternity Saga. Now, Kevin Feige specifically said that we are going to be in the mutant era of the MCU next. He didn't specifically say Mutant Saga, so he hasn't officially named that yet. Although I would bet that it is going to be the Mutant Saga. But they have the copyright for Eternity Saga. That could be after the Mutant Saga, or that could very well be what we get next. Because remember, it's so exciting that the X-Men are coming, but they are still just kind of one piece to the puzzle here. We still have the Avengers. We still have other heroes like Spider-Man. There's a lot of other things to explore. Nova's not on this list, but Brad Winderbaum, the head of Marvel Television, has confirmed that they have been working on a Nova TV series. Now, we haven't heard a lot about it recently, but I would say it's definitely going to get made. Whether they keep it a TV series or they go to a movie, I think Nova is coming because the whole cosmic side of the MCU still needs further exploration and other sides as well, which we'll get to in this. So Eternity Saga, that could be next. Now, Hercules Rise of the Gods. Now, obviously, Hercules was in the post-credit scene for Thor Love and Thunder. It seems like they had enough faith in him to give him his own movie, or maybe series, but I would probably say movie. Like I said, most of these seem like movies. Some of them, you'll see. But Hercules Rise of the Gods, he's already in the MCU technically. It seems like he was clearly supposed to go up against Thor, but Hercules and Thor are friends in the comics. They do kind of start off as enemies, but eventually they are buddies. They become good friends, and Hercules is a good character, is a hero, not a villain. So to do that makes sense. And I would actually really like to see it. Now, the next one, we've heard a lot about this recently, the Midnight Suns. We haven't seen really much about the Midnight Suns besides the fact that Blade is no longer happening and that he's simply going to be introduced in the Midnight Suns. And we've actually we heard this a little bit ago, that Ghost Rider was actually going to be the leader. Now, originally it was supposed to be Blade. Blade was going to be the Nick Fury of the Midnight Suns, and we saw that. We saw him go to Dane Whitman, and he was basically going to recruit him, and the plan was for him to recruit other people as well and make the Midnight Suns. That's probably not the plan anymore, but the plan for the Midnight Suns movie to happen is still in place, and that's where Blade will be introduced, as well as a bunch of other really cool kind of mystic side of the MCU goes. Those mystic characters, they're going to be introduced in this as well. So nothing has changed there as far as we've heard. In fact, it sounds like that movie is going to be more important than ever. So the next one's a multiverse saga. Then the next one, I don't know if this one will apply anymore because of Marvel's plans, but the next one was No.
Guys, real quick, top 5. Comment below, let me know. For the Midnight Suns, I even got the comic books. Okay, top 5. My top 5 for the Midnight Suns. Let me get Doctor Strange. Let me get Blade. Let me get Ghost Rider. Let me get Moon Knight. And let me get the Punisher. Punisher, Moon Knight, Blade, Doctor Strange, and Ghost Rider. That's my top 5 for the Midnight Suns. Comment below. Let me know your top 5.
Nomad. They registered the copyright for Nomad. So we heard a ton of reports just over time since Avengers Endgame came out that we were going to get maybe a series or a movie that was about Chris Evans, Captain America, returning the Infinity Stones, and this would be a Nomad show. Since he's returning in Avengers Doomsday, and we're probably going to get the backstory of what he has been up to since Avengers Endgame, I don't think we'll probably get Nomad. Unless it's a different version of Captain America, like a completely different new one, maybe. But considering everything they're doing with Doomsday now, and of course Secret Wars, because I'm assuming Chris Evans is in Secret Wars as well, I don't believe we'll get this. But we'll see it basically. Like the general idea of what they had for Nomad, we're gonna probably see in Avengers Doomsday. They'll show us a little bit of his backstory, but I just don't see them revisiting Nomad after Secret Wars. After Captain America's already come back, Chris Evans has returned. I don't think they'll do it again. I think that'll be it until like maybe 20 years in the future where we get RDJ back and Chris Evans back and everybody again for like another giant movie, but it'll be a while. This one's interesting and I like it. Red Guardian Generations. Red Guardian, I would honestly say, is one of my favorite characters in the MCU right now, Alexei Shostakov. And I think there's a lot of his backstory that, you know, they didn't go too much into in Black Widow, but they talked about a little bit about how he felt in the Thunderbolts. And I think there's a lot of story you could tell there. And I think it would be a really entertaining movie as well. I really do. I think David Arbor does a great job with his character. And I think he's one of the most interesting and funny characters in the MCU right now. So I'd be here for this. It might be a show. That's what I mentioned. Like most of them sound like.
I would like to see that. A Red Guardian, but take it all the way to the back. All the way to like his origin. So we see how he became Red Guardian. And I like this character. He's a funny character in the show, in the movies and stuff too. But yeah, I would like to see this movie right here. And it's a special presentation. So that means it's just going to be just like the Werewolf by Night. There was a special presentation. That means it's just a 1 hour and that's it. You know what I mean? A 1 hour show or presentation. That's it. Just like they're doing with the Punisher. We got the Punisher special presentation dropping this year as well. It's just a one-off. And then after that, it jumps right into Spider-Man. So yeah, I'm down.
Movies. This one sounds like it could be a show. So does the next one, Runaways New Era. If they want to do the Runaways in the MCU, New Era sounds like a good name for it. This could be a movie, could be a show. Again, I think these two would probably...
Dear beachcombers and early risers, wine tips.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would definitely be cool. I'm down for Runaways. Like I said, I used to watch the TV show back in the days. So let's get some new characters. And you know what? Even add Cloak and Dagger with the Runaways. That would be dope too.
The two shows that I would guess. Red Guardian Generations, Runaways New Era. Then we have Shang-Chi and the Wreckage of Time. We've been hearing about this one for a long time now. Simu Liu, the actor who plays Shang-Chi, has expressed, that he's been kind of disappointed that it hasn't been made. But clearly Marvel Studios, they went through a lot, deciding what to do, and then finally deciding, hey, we're bringing RDJ back. We're bringing the Russo brothers. This is what we're doing. It's no longer Kang Dynasty. It's Doomsday, Secret Wars, etc., etc. Shang-Chi, unfortunately, I think kind of got pushed back because of that. But of course, he's a major player in Doomsday and hopefully Secret Wars as well. And hopefully we get Wreckage of Time after. I think he's a character who's going to stick around in the MCU for a pretty long time. So I'm not really worried. I think this eventually does come. And the last one, the Black Knight Origins. This kind of goes back to the whole Midnight Suns topic. Again, Dane Whitman, the Black Knight, Blade showed up at the end of the Eternals in that post-credit scene to essentially recruit him. Is he going to still get his own movie or possibly show here? I think it's a movie more than a show. It's possible because Blade is being pushed into the Midnight Suns because they just could not figure out what to do with it. Right? So maybe they have a better idea of what they want the Black Knight to be, and that movie can actually be made before the Midnight Suns, I would have to say, because I would imagine he would go on to be a part of the Midnight Suns. But if not, the Black Knight should just appear in the Midnight Suns and be a part of that team. So this could be the future of the MCU, and it lines up with what Kevin Feige talked about before. They are going to explore the cosmic side of the MCU more, and they are going to explore the mystic / supernatural side of the MCU more as well. And then, of course, the mutants are going to play a huge role in this. I'm assuming they've registered copyrights for a lot of the mutants. Mutant projects, we just haven't seen it yet. But again, this whole slate right here was reported on by a lot of outlets, and at the time was kind of crazy to see. I am assuming, I would say at least half of these are going to come to fruition. They're going to be made, but I would say half are not going to be made just because things have changed, and just with Doom coming back and Kang gone, all of that, it's changed, but some of these are going to survive, some aren't. Let me know which ones you would be most excited to see. I think the one that takes it all for me here would be Avengers Eternity Wars, and Shang-Chi, The Wreckage of Time, and The Midnight Suns. I would be most excited for them. And Celestial's End of Time. I think that would be just a visual spectacle. I think it could be a really cool story. But let me know your thoughts. What would you be most excited for in the comments down below? And please don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest Marvel news. And you can also find us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof, woof.
Woof, woof. All right. Well, there you have it. Guys, shouts out to Warren. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Cosmic Wonder. Let them know your boy LC from Heroes and Villains sent you guys over there. Yo, that's some awesome news. Yeah, I do agree that we ain't going to get all of those movies. You know what I mean? But, I mean, there's some good ones there that I would like to see, you know? There are some good ones there I would like them to go ahead and bring, man. The Runaways would be good. I would like to see a Red Guardian. You know what I mean? Like a prequel, like a Red Guardian Origins. Definitely the Midnight Suns. You know what I mean? Midnight Suns, that's my team right there. We definitely got to have those guys. Obviously, they're going to make more Avengers movies. You know what I mean? That's like every Avengers movie has made $1 billion plus. You know what I mean? So, yeah, guys, comment below. Let me know your thoughts when it comes to these movies. And let me know in the comments what movies would you like to see when it comes to this big-ass list right there that Warren was just giving out. You know what I mean? I would like to see a Nomad, but maybe just like he said, we can get a backstory of Steve Rogers of what the hell he's been doing this whole time. Maybe he was Nomad when he went back in time. You know what I mean? So, I mean, we don't know. We don't know what they're going to do for Doomsday and all that good stuff. Or maybe they don't show us the background and they still do a Nomad in, like, present time. You know, maybe he's like, oh, I'm not Captain America. Falcon is Captain America. You know what I mean? Sam Wilson, and I'm just Nomad. Maybe they can do it that way. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, hey, either way, I'm excited. You know, once again, I'm disappointed in the Super Bowl not showing the Avengers Doomsday trailer nor the Spider-Man trailer. That really sucks. You know? But anyways, comment below, guys. Let me know you guys' thoughts. Let me know which movies of this big-ass list you guys would want to see. You know what I mean? In a way, it's kind of like... And, yo, there was even... He didn't even say it there. Supposedly, there was word of a Scarlet Witch movie. I didn't see that on his list. There's supposed to be a Scarlet Witch movie coming out. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. But then again, he said this was for Phase 7. Right now, we're going into Phase 6. So, you know, they did say that Scarlet Witch was going to be like during the Mutant Saga. which is Phase 6. So comment below. Let me know you guys' thoughts. What you guys thought about all that good stuff. So holla at your boy. Alright, so that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, guys. This was dope. This was awesome. Hey, check it out. If it's the first time checking out your boy, make sure you guys go ahead, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, and let you know when I got all types of videos coming your way. Also, smash that like button. It does help out the channel. And if you guys want to see the collection, make sure to follow us on Heroes and Villains Collectibles on Instagram, so you guys can check out the Hot Toys collection, Marvel collection, Lego collection, statue collection, all that good stuff. Alright, so that being said, this was dope. This was awesome. This has been another episode of Heroes and Villains Collectibles. I'm your boy, LC. Until next time, guys. Peace.